Hay's looking good. We'll probably cut that on our next available day when we got a break in the rain. I don't think camera does it much justice, but it's probably about 2 feet high. In most spots there are some little weeds sticking up there. It's like 4 or 5 feet high, and we got these patches like this that are really high. Take a ride over here and check on the fence where the cows and the goats are in here. I think we're about to move them to this little pasture here that we're in now. They're getting that pretty well cleaned up. That way I can clean all the junk and the trash piles that's thrown in this field out. Cemeteries are loaded and they're falling over and limbs are breaking off. But this was all up in weeds. I don't know, there's a video. I'll try to post a couple clips of it from before I put them in here. This stuff was all weeds about high as that right there, covering this whole field, and now they've cleaned it up pretty good. They ate the bark off those little trees right there. Just kind of running through, making a fence check, and got a pretty wide gap in the fence right there. These persimmons are starting to turn. Hard to make a video and not shake the camera. I've had a pretty good summer. It's been pretty hot this summer, but it's starting to cool down in the evenings and the mornings now, so fall's creeping up on us pretty quick. We do have a roll of wire right over there that we're trying to get this fence taken down. We're gonna put electric fence up, turn the cows in here though, so they can clean this up. So I do have a nice set of gates. Right there's one. There's another one right here that I'd like to get out of there and put down there at the driveway. They do have a nice shelter. I don't know if you can see it, but right back there's that building back there. I think it's like 12 by 30 with 2 add-ons. One's a 10 by 30 and one's a 12 by 12, I think. So I'd like to keep them where they can get into that building and shelter. Take a ride around the hayfield here. I want to check and see where all the hay is in this field, because this is going to be my next field I cut for hay within the next few weeks. We do have some kind of more bare spots, like right here. This is, I don't know if you can tell, but it's not really doing a whole lot here, but you got spots right over here that's real thick. And directly in front of us is real thick. This is all 2-3 feet high here. So if you can see, it's coming up on the bumper of the gator there. But they're calling for rain for the next 4 or 5 days. So that kind of stops us on that. Then I've been working 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, and it's starting to get dark sooner, so it's kind of hard to get off work and come home and cut hay. Once the dew starts falling, I don't like cutting hay. But this is kind of the rougher field that we got. As far as ground wise, the other field that we'll check here in a minute, it's rough, but only because it's on a hill. The whole field's a hillside. This bottom down here, we cut it, but we don't bale it because it stands in water all the time. I'm not gonna drive through it. I spent an hour the other day power washing this thing. There is a ditch that runs along right over here, so we probably want to stay out of that. So then cross it here. My luck, this is probably the deepest part of it. Not too bad. Whatever reason, we can't get the county to mow this ditch line for nothing. I can mow within 1 foot of it. I'll step over here and show you what I'm talking about. I can mow within a foot of this ditch, but this ditch, if you can see, it's about, I don't know, 5-6 foot deep right here. Probably 2 feet wide. Why they need a ditch that deep, I don't know. But I don't have a offset mower for the tractor, so I can't really just mow it myself. The county comes by and mows, but they only mow a foot off this county road, so they mow to the edge of the ditch. Everything else is my problem, I guess. Come down, trim these couple trees up the other day and haul the brush off for those. Just made it harder to mow if I didn't cut those off. This is the driveway I use to go home because it just kind of circles right up to the house, and I can park right in front of the house there. That leaves a parking spot open in case somebody comes to visit or somebody stops and is getting something from us from the farm. And we got our main gate for the cows and goats here. You can see goats are headed over to do some cleanup. We'll probably need to check their water and haul them some water down, which reminds me, I bought a new project the other day that we're going to be working on to move water for the farm, for the animals. Just a small water tank trailer, a cow. That's the manure spreader revival. If you haven't seen that video, go back and check that out. Like I said, we're pretty new to YouTube, so the videos ain't the greatest, but that was a pretty cool experience getting that out after sitting for 20 years in the weeds by the barn. There's the baler in the building. We're going to be getting that out, putting twine in it pretty soon. Got the Trump tractor sitting here in the weeds. It's going to need an overhaul, or at least a head gasket. It's pumping oil out the head. We'll go on down the hill here, and this is our second hay field. It goes to that tree line down there. This is really good looking hay in this field. But we got our blackberries that go from this building on down the hill. They actually go all the way to the bottom of the hill. Then they come across the top, the middle of the hill here too. But we'll take a ride down the hill here and see what everything's looking like for us. Little tree there, seen better days. couple attachments to clean out these roadways, or something in general we can clean out these roadways with. We don't use this small field here for hay, but it'll get cut. We usually try to cut it twice a year, so we'll cut it again this fall. We'll cut the last of the hay. And again, it runs as far down there as we can see. We'll get down there in just a second. This is kind of one of our wooded areas. We're going to have to thin it out and get some of these trees cut off here. There's some pretty decent sized poplar in here. Not really sure what the poplar market is right now. I was into the timber cutting. Out of timber cutting probably 5 years ago. I'd say for every year you cut timber, it probably adds 3 years of life onto your, it takes away 3 years of life from your body and make you old real quick. That's a pretty rough job. So this little field here, it all gets cut down. Got the tree stand there, but the property runs just to pass that tree line right over there, and this tree line right here is the property line. The yellow birch ravine is right over in there. It's our property line goes over yellow birch ravine. This is results of a windstorm. I gotta clean up. It's kind of in a mess, and I haven't had a tractor down here to clean that up. But a lot of these trees are rotting out at the bottom, so I need to get some of this timber thinned out of here. A lot of this timber on this creek bank and stuff, it really needs to go. There's a sycamore right there. Pretty good looking tree. If you let sycamore get too big, it just hollows out. But we got timber down in here, over in this area. This opens up into our big hayfield. I want to say it's like 15-acre hayfield. This is the hayfield we cut back in May, June. We divided it in half. We cut right down the middle here. Cut that in 2 separate weeks. This farm, hopefully you can hear. My great grandma and grandpa bought this farm. I want to say back in the 1950s. Once they passed away, it got handed down to their kids. From what I've been told, all the kids sold to one, which is my uncle. He's in the videos from time to time, and he's handed the farm down to me since, and we just try to keep everything cleaned up, keep this hay cut, clean up where we can and make improvements where we can to make a sustainable farm. So it's we're kind of into, I'll say 4th generation now, because my uncle's mom and dad owned it, then my uncle got it, then my dad got it, and then it went back to my uncle, and it came to me. So I've owned it, I want to say like at least 4 years now. And I recently bought a part of this farm that was split up. I bought it back, so we got a couple more acres back with the farm that was with the farm before, but was sold off. So we got kind of a farm salvage yard, I guess you would say here. This is where the equipment goes that's no longer used or needs significant amount of work. There's a conditioner right there and a sickle bar mower, but the sickle bar mower is totaled. It looks like somebody's bent it around a tree. There's a project before winter is getting those pulled down and cut, those trees up on the hill there. We have a nice red oak log here. That's a real nice log. It's kind of saving that in case we did do some timber selling. But other than that, we come out on the top side of this field here. We got a salvage yard of power wheels. And if you can see all the way over there is our barn. We've got it full of hay. I don't know how much hay it's going to take us to winter this year, but I'm sure we got a couple hundred bales we can sell right now. Then we're going to cut all this again. This is, I think it's all going to be ready at one time. This hay down here's grew really good this year. It's coming back in pretty thick and luscious, so we'll get that cut up and baled. See what we got for winter and what we got to sell. Nobody wants to buy hay until the middle of winter when they can't get it nowhere else. It's kind of inconvenient for us because we don't have the room to store it, so we can only bale so much and have storage for it. I try not to waste any of it. I can take it to an auction. You may give it away, and you may come out all right. As long as we're breaking even, I'm fine with that. It gives us something to do. It keeps the ground cleaned up and keeps it cut. But yeah, we got logs laying everywhere. We kind of, it's one of those deals we didn't want to cut them up in case somebody wanted to come cut this timber. But if they lay there too long, they'll be cut up into firewood. See if we can come out below the pond here. It's always a sketchy road because it's so side. Kind of gives you the impression you're gonna flip over riding on it. I know it's not that bad on camera, but it's always nice to be able to drive down through here and just take in the nature, I guess. I'm terrible holding this camera and trying to drive. It's because a lot of this you can't see what's underneath it. Really don't want to tear anything up. But I do need to get down here and mow this up tractor. We'll go over out of the pond and buy my uncle's chicken house and head back to the house. Pond don't look too bad this year. It looks pretty good actually. There's a lot of fish in that pond. There's the chicken house. Just an old trailer. Go ahead back up the hill to the house. have some old implements up here. We got a dump hay rake there. Got the 65 Ferguson. A couple trailers over there, bell ring, odds and ends. We do have this 1972 International here. One to a Willet start. It's been sitting there for probably 10 years and not been started. I tried to last year and I had a bunch of wasp in it and we didn't want to get stung. The old Jeep fuel truck and the Blazer, it's just kind of a farm truck for winter. It's full-wheel drive.